Testament of Job, chapter 6. And immediately my wife came near me, and crying aloud and weeping, she said, Job, Job, how long will you sit on the dunghill outside of the city, still pondering for a while and expecting to obtain your hope for salvation? And I have been wandering from place to place, roaming around as a hired servant. Behold, the memory has already died away from earth. And my sons and the daughters that I carried on my bosom, and the labors and pains that I sustained, have been for nothing. And you sit in fetal state of soreness and worms, passing the nights in the cold air. And I have undergone all trials and troubles and pains day and night, until I succeed in bringing bread to you. For your surplus of bread is no longer allowed to me, and as I can scarcely take my own food and divide it between us, I pondered in my heart that it was not right that you should be in pain and hunger for bread. And so I ventured to go to the market without bashfulness. And when the bread seller told me, Give me money, you will have bread, I disclosed to him our state of distress. Then I heard him say, If you have no money, hand me the hair of your head, and take 3 loaves of bread, in order that you may live on these for 3 days. And I yielded to the wrong, and said to him, Rise and cut off my hair. And he rose, and in disgrace cut off with the scissors the hair of my head on the marketplace, while the crowd stood by and wondered. Who would then not be astonished, saying, Is this Sittis, the wife of Job, who had 14 curtains to cover her inner sitting room, and doors within doors, so that he was greatly honored, who would be brought near her. And now behold, she barters off her hair for bread, who had camels laden with goods, and they were brought into remote lands to the poor, and now she sells her hair for bread. Behold her, who had 7 tables immovably set in her house, at which each poor man and each stranger ate, and now she sells her hair for bread. Behold her, who had the basin with which to wash her feet made of gold, and her hair for beads, her feet made of gold and silver, and now she walks on the ground and sells her hair for bread. Behold, her who had her garments made of byssus interwove with gold, and now she exchanges her hair for bread. Behold her who had couches of gold and of silver, and now she sells her hair for bread. In short then, Job, after the many things that have been said to me, I now say in one word to you, since the feebleness of my heart has crushed my bones, rise then and take these loaves of bread and enjoy them, and then speak some word against the Lord and die. For I too would exchange the torpor of death for the sustenance of my body. But I replied to her, Behold, I have been plague stricken for these 7 years, and I have withstood the worm of my body, and I will not weigh down in my soul by all these pains. And as to the word which you say, speak some word against God and die. Together with you I will sustain the evil which you see, and let us endure the ruin of all that we have. Yet you desire that we should say some word against God, and that he should be exchanged for the great Pluto. Why do you not remember those great goods which we possess? If these goods come from the land of the Lord, should we not also endure evils and be high-minded in everything until the Lord will have mercy again and show pity to us? Do you not see the seducer standing behind you and confound your thoughts in order that you should deceive me? And he turned to Satan and said, Why do you not come openly to me? Stop hiding yourself, you wretched one. Does the lion show his strength in the weasel's cage, or does the bird fly in the basket? I now tell you, go away and wage your war against me. Then he went off from behind my wife and placed himself before me, crying, and he said, Behold, Job, I yield and give away to you who are but flesh, while I am spirit. You are plague stricken, but I am in great trouble, for I am like a wrestler contesting with a wrestler who has, in single-handed combat, torn down his antagonist and covered him with dust and broken every limb of his. Whereas the other one, who lies beneath, having displayed his bravery, gives forth sounds of triumph, testifying to his own superior excellence. Thus you, O Job, are beneath and stricken with plague and pain, and yet you have carried the victory in the wrestling match with me, and behold, I yield to you. Then he left me embarrassed. Now, my children, you must also show a firm heart in all the evil that happens to you, for firmness of heart is greater than all things.